Namaste and welcome to your Yin Yoga practice. We'll begin this class laying on the back with your knees into the chest. And just start to take a couple of deep breaths into the body, allowing the mind to come into this moment by focusing on your inhales and your exhales. Noticing what's moving through the mind and what's happening in the physical body. You're welcome to stay in stillness, or you could bring your hands to your knees and start circling the hips around, making sure to go in both directions. Allowing yourself to find any movement in the body, circling the knees, pulling them apart, and bringing them back together. If you need, you can roll onto your side body. Otherwise, bring your hands behind your knees or your hamstrings and start to rock and roll a couple of times on the spine. Working up enough momentum to sit up into a boat pose, keeping the toes elevated. When you get to that point, you can pause with the chest pulling forward, shoulder blades squeeze back. If it doesn't mean your back will round, you can reach your arms out in front of you. Keep pulling the chest up, belly pulls in. Full inhale. Exhale, come into butterfly pose, sitting upright. You can stay lifted or hinge forward gently from the hips. Breathing length into the spine. Taking your time, slowly start to lift yourself back up. Scoop your knees together and wrap your arms around your shins or hamstrings. Rounding through the back, give yourself a hug here. Good, you can make your way into a tabletop position. Stacking your joints, we'll move through a few rounds of cat and cow. With your breath in, lower the belly, lift the gaze. And your breath out, round through the spine, bringing your chin to your chest. Gaze goes to the belly button. Inhale to open the front body. Exhale, open the back body. Take this at your own pace, maybe closing down the eyes. At the end of your exhale, come to a neutral spine, tuck the toes and send the hips into a downward dog. Taking a couple petals of the legs. Stepping your feet about hip width apart. Come up onto your tippy toes and then drop your heels over to the right, so your toes will turn to the right edge of your mat. You can bend into your knees, turning the right hip to the sky, perhaps even floating the right hand. Good. Carefully come back to downward facing dog, hips back and your feet hip width apart. Inhale onto your tiptoes. Exhale, drop your heels to the right, bend into the knees, maybe hovering and floating the left hand. Good. Come to downward dog. Take another breath. And come up onto your tiptoes, bend the knees, and step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and forward fold, let it go. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, forward fold to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands and step to the bottom of your mat. Shift forward to plank, breathe in. Lower the elbows, breathe out, chaturanga. Press your heart up into a back bend, cobra or baby cobra. And exhale over the toes, come into downward facing dog. Bend the knees, step to the hands at the top of your mat, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Ground down through your hands and step the left toes back for a low lunge, dropping the back knee down and untucking the toes. Inhale, lifting the gaze, give the hips a little wiggle so that they're fully settled. Then bring your hands onto the top of the right thigh, press down through the hips. Breathe. Draw the belly in and fold over the leg. Find half splits, sending the hips back towards the left heel, tucking the toes, and drawing your right toes to the face. Breathe into the right hamstring. Come back forward into your low lunge. Plant your hands and lift the back knee off the mat. Fire up through the right leg and prepare to lift off of the left toes, finding a grounded warrior 3. Try keeping the hips level and then slowly but surely come up to stand into stork pose. Reaching your shoulders on top of your hips, hover the left knee in front of you, bring your hands to your heart. Good. Deep breath in. Breath out, carefully step the left toes into a high lunge back behind you. You can adjust your stance, wiggle around, and when you're ready, reach your arms up to the sky and sink into the hips. Deep belly breath in. Controlled breath out. Good. Runner's lunge, reach your arms back behind you, tilt your chest forward towards the mat. Find strength in your legs, especially your right leg, and we'll step up forward into a chair pose. Left foot hops beside the right, bring your hands to heart. Deep breath in, breath out. Inhale, rise up, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step into a downward dog, or you can move through flow, lowering through your chaturanga, inhaling into your back bend of choice, and exhaling, coming into downward facing dog. Take a breath. Make your way to the top of your mat. With a breath in, find a flat back. Melt it down, breath out. Low lunge on the other side. Plant your hands, step your right foot back. Sink into the left knee. And slowly rising up, bringing your hands to the top of the leg. Connect to your breath. Coming into this shape. You can fold over the leg and make your way into half splits. Tuck the back toes, straighten the left leg as much as feels good. And coming back forward to lunge. Lift off of the right toes, straighten through the left leg for grounded warrior 3. Moving so slowly, start to lift one hand off the mat and then the other. Coming up to stand, hover the right knee in front of you. There's no rush. Bring your hands to your heart. Slowly send the right toes back behind you, high lunge, tapping them down. Keep the heel lifted. Find your balance. When you're ready, reach your arms to the sky and sink a little deeper into the hips. Finding runner's lunge, sweep your arms back, tilt forward with the chest. One long line from the heel to the crown of your head. Coming up into our chair pose, bend the back knee, hop up, bring hands to heart, lower the hips. Inhale, opening the chest and sinking a little deeper. Inhale, press up to stand. Exhale, forward fold to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step into your plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Good. Come to step at the top of your mat, half lift. And exhale, fold. Rise up to stand, breathe in. Return hands to heart, breathe out. Inhale, connecting to your breath, finding this balance in your body. Grounding down through the right foot. Starting to lift the left foot off of the mat. Maybe you keep the toes grounded. You can try coming into stork pose, lifting the knee. Begin opening the knee for tree pose. Maybe reaching down, bringing the foot to the inside of the thigh, or you can tap the toes back down to the mat. Express your arms as your branches. Bring your hands to your heart and focus. With control, step the left foot all the way back into warrior two. Turning the toes to the wide edge of your mat, lunge into the right knee. Turn your chest, your hips to the side, and only your gaze turns right. Reverse your warrior, flip your right hand up to the sky and lean back. You can bring the left arm around the back body. Windmill your hands down, framing the front foot. Step back to plank and move through your flow. Follow your breath. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. Come up onto the toes, look forward and step to the hands. Halfway lift, breathing in and folding, breathing out. Come up to stand, reach your arms to the sky. Bring your hands to your heart. Good. Finding your balance once more, this time into the left leg, hovering the right toes off the ground. Finding stork. And into your tree, bring your foot to the inside of the left leg. Expressing your arms as your branches. Focusing on one point to help with balance. Take one more breath here. And carefully open into warrior two, stepping the right foot back, adjusting your stance as needed. Lunging into the front knee. Flip your left hand up and reverse your warrior. Option for the bind, bringing your right hand behind you. Good. Slowly rise up. This time we'll come into goddess pose, turning the left toes to face the edge and sink into the knees. Toes will turn out and your knees will keep opening. Bring your arms into cactus and you can sway from foot to foot, feeling the strength and power in your thighs. Good. Straighten the legs and fold forward all the way down. Bring your hands to the mat, trying to breathe length into the back body, into the spine. Expressing yourself however you'd like to here, maybe reaching for opposite ankles. Plant your hands back down, lift up, walk your hands to frame the left foot and move through your flow. Move slowly with your breath, don't rush this. We'll meet in a child's pose. Good. Come up into a seat. We're going to be moving into our yin sequence. And yin yoga is quite different from hatha yoga because the focus isn't strengthening the muscles, but rather our muscles are completely relaxed. Yin yoga tries to target the joints, the ligaments, and connective tissues. And unless the muscles are relaxed, you can't actually get into those things because your muscles act as a protectant to them. So we'll begin in a 90-90 position. Walk your feet to the top left edge of your mat and bring your right knee to the right edge of your mat, so your shin is parallel to the top. Swing your left leg back so your left knee is to the edge and the shin is to the left edge. Bring your hands back behind you and you'll feel a deep internal rotation in the left hip. Breathe through any discomfort, making sure you don't feel any pain. Close down the eyes. And we'll be in this posture for quite a while so that you can really get into this joint. If you really enjoy this right here and you're feeling called to stay, then please do so. Otherwise, start to walk yourself forward over that right leg, maybe coming onto your forearms for fallen deer. Feeling the deep compression into the right hip. Come back to your breath. Slowly begin to lift yourself out of this posture, bringing your hands behind you for a quick moment. Our next posture is going to be half saddle. So we'll bring the left heel close to our left glute and the right leg will extend long. We're not going to be sitting on the left foot, but it is tucked in towards the hips. If this is too much, you're welcome to sit onto a block. Maybe try stepping your right foot down, see how that feels. You are welcome to lower down onto your forearms if you're not feeling much, but just make sure that the left knee is staying firmly grounded to the mat. You're even welcome to lower onto the back body, but again, we're in this posture for a while, so make sure that you aren't in any pain and that the muscles can for sure be relaxed. If you are all the way on your back, begin to start rising up onto your forearms, taking a couple slow breaths. We'll ease out of this posture, bringing shoulders back on top of the hips, extending the left leg long in front of you. Lean back and just notice the body, maybe dropping the toes from side to side or staying in stillness. Absorbing the benefits. Step the feet down and bring the feet to the top right edge, and then drop the left shin to be parallel to the top of your mat. Spin your right leg down so your shin is to the right edge. Lifting up through the spine and then lean back onto the hands, turning to face the right leg, only as much as feels good. Stay here if you'd like, Or you can come into fallen deer, walking your hands to frame around the right leg. Moving mindfully, moving slowly. You can lower onto your forearms if that's what feels necessary for you right now. Take your time easing out of this yin posture. There's no rush. Making your way into half saddle, bring your right knee forward, tucking the right heel by the hip. And the left foot can be stepped down or it can be extended long. As long as the right knee stays grounded, you can lower onto your forearms or onto the back body. Know your limits. Be kind to your body, ensuring that the muscles can relax, otherwise you won't get the benefits of the yin. Take your time coming out. Shoulders back on top of hips if you were lowered. And you can extend the right leg long, rocking the hips, taking whatever movement you need for your rebound. When you're ready for your Shavasana, you can lower onto your back body, allowing your legs to be wherever they're going to be the most comfortable, the most held. Scanning over your body, noticing any changes, any sensations, or lack of sensation. Take a deep breath full of gratitude for yourself, for carving out this time in your schedule to honor your body and your breath. Take a gentle breath in. Step your feet down to the mat. Take your time coming up into a seat. And close off our practice with a beautiful breath together. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, palms touch. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. The light in me sees, acknowledges, and honors the light in you, and knows that they are the same. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this class. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next class.